Meghan Markle wasn't on the Graham Norton Show, but she definitely took center stage in the court of public opinion after a string of sharp remarks and subtle shade. Not from a comedian, but from Dame Helen Mirren herself. Known for her poise, class, and razor-sharp insight, Mirren didn't need to name Meghan directly to get her point across. As the fallout from Meghan's rejected Netflix pitches continues to spiral, the Queen of British cinema may have delivered the most polite but brutal takedown we've seen in months. Is Helen Mirren saying what the public's been thinking all along? That Meghan Markle's Hollywood fantasy is crumbling before our eyes? Netflix says no, and Meghan reportedly loses it. Netflix's decision to pass on several of Meghan Markle's proposed projects has sent shockwaves through the media. After the hype around the Archwell production deal, a $100 million agreement inked in 2020, executives were allegedly underwhelmed by the material Meghan brought to the table. Insiders say the ideas lacked originality, failed to align with the platform's current content goals, and felt entitled more than inspired. Enter Helen Mirren on the Graham Norton Show, who, while discussing the industry's shift in standards and expectations for celebrities, dropped this sly line: "There's a difference between talent and entitlement. One opens doors, the other slams them shut when the camera is off." The audience chuckled. But make no mistake, viewers and commentators immediately drew the connection. Meghan's critics hailed it as a subtle dig, while others simply called it refreshingly honest. Do you think Helen Mirren was targeting Meghan with her comment about entitlement? Is she brave for speaking out? Let us know in the comments. In a bizarre twist, Meghan's most devoted fans, some claiming to be aligned with MAGA values, decided to protest Netflix's rejection by sending a flower cake to the streaming giant's headquarters. A photo of the arrangement, a multi-tiered sculpture made of white roses with "Justice for Meghan" written in edible gold script, quickly went viral. Helen Mirren, ever the classy satirist, responded to the mention of these kinds of protests by saying, "Sending cakes to corporations sounds more like dessert theater than activism." The moment underscored just how absurd Meghan's PR war has become. What was once a calculated image of resilience and independence is now bordering on a parody of itself, and more celebrities, like Mirren, seem increasingly comfortable calling it out. Do Meghan's fan stunts actually help her case, or do they make her look even more disconnected from reality? One of the most persistent criticisms of Meghan Markle is her consistent framing of herself as the victim. From the Oprah interview to the Harry and Meghan Netflix series, she's portrayed herself as a target of racism, bullying, and palace politics. But many, including insiders and former staff, argue that her narrative doesn't hold up to scrutiny. Mirren made a chillingly calm observation about public figures who wrap themselves in victimhood as a brand, warning, "There's a danger in turning every setback into a conspiracy. Sometimes, a no just means it wasn't good enough." It's a truth that the public seems more willing to embrace now, especially after Meghan's Spotify deal fell apart, with execs allegedly calling her and Harry grifters. Add Netflix's apparent cooling to the mix, and suddenly the Duchess of Sussex looks less like a trailblazer and more like a failed content creator demanding attention. Is Meghan Markle out of touch with reality, or just another celebrity overselling their relevance? What's your verdict? While Helen Mirren delivered the quotes, Graham Norton's body language throughout the episode spoke volumes. Each time Meghan's situation came up, directly or by implication, he flashed a knowing smirk, raised an eyebrow, or leaned in like a man who'd heard plenty off camera. Norton is no stranger to interviewing Meghan's biggest critics or witnessing the British public skepticism. Though he remained mostly neutral, his well-timed sarcasm and classic British restraint said everything without saying a word. This kind of passive-aggressive commentary, one that Meghan's PR team can't quite spin, is what's giving power back to her critics. Do you prefer this subtle British sarcasm over direct criticism of Meghan Markle? Or do you think it's time celebrities start calling her out directly? Once seen as the woman who could modernize the monarchy, Meghan Markle is now being described by some in the media as the most overexposed underachiever in Hollywood. Despite millions in funding, premium platforms, and global fame, she has failed to deliver lasting, respected work. What she has delivered is drama, lawsuits, contradictions, and a lot of victim narratives. Helen Mirren's calm but cutting comments might be the industry's polite way of saying, enough already. So where does Meghan go from here? Will she reinvent herself once more, politician, influencer, spiritual guru? Or are we witnessing the final chapters of the Sussex experiment in self-made royalty? What do you think Meghan Markle's next move will be? Can she recover from these back-to-back rejections? Or is this the end of her media dream? Share your thoughts below. Like, share, and subscribe if you're tired of curated PR campaigns and ready for unfiltered Hollywood reality. Join the conversation, and don't forget to drop your hot takes on whether Helen Mirren just said what we're all thinking.